HGB Channel 5's Masterminds, a program geared towards Valley High School academics. With your host, Tim Smith. Today, in the quarterfinals, International Baccalaureate and Feria High School match wits in their quest to become this year's Masterminds champion.
Hey everybody, welcome to the quarterfinals, International Baccalaureate and Feria, and let's get right to it with our quick start questions. Hands on your buzzer, students. Here we go. The defeat of the Axis powers in World War II ended the aggressions of most fascist states, but name one country in which it survived until at least 1955. That's IB Ricky.
Cuba.
No. Feria, anybody want to try? All right, Zeb.
Turkey.
No, Spain or Argentina. What is a small explosive charge used to set off a larger explosive charges? IB Ricky.
A fuse.
No. Feria, Zeb.
Primer.
No, the detonator. Of what nationality was chemist Alfred Nobel? IB Elizabeth.
Swedish?
Yes, that's right. Continuing floods along what major river valley, which was then one of the most dangerous flood areas in the world, caused Congress to adopt the Flood Control Act of 1936? Continuing floods along what major river valley, which was then one of the most dangerous flood areas in the world, caused Congress... Feria, Zeb.
The Mississippi River Valley.
That's correct. This god was portrayed as young and handsome by Roman artists, but drunk and fat and old by Renaissance painters. Either way, he knew how to get a Bacchanalia going. Named this Greek god. It's IB Elizabeth.
Dionysus?
That's right. The Sultanate of Brunei is found on which of these islands? Luzon, Corsica, Madagascar, Borneo, or Crete? The Sultanate of Brunei is found on which of these islands? Luzon, Corsica, Madagascar, Borneo, or Crete? IB Ricky.
Borneo.
That's correct. What country did Russia, Prussia, and Austria finish partitioning in 1795? Feria, Zeb.
Poland.
That's right. In cooking, what does sauté mean? Does it mean to cook in butter, fry lightly, soak in wine, flavored with garlic, or boil rapidly? Feria, Nick.
To cook in butter?
No. IB Elizabeth.
To fry lightly?
Yes. Which of the following polygons has the fewest sides? A heptagon, octagon, decagon, hexagon, or dodecagon? That's Feria, Nick.
Hexagon?
Yes, that's right. Copies of which children's classic were once seized because the title heroine always dressed in the color of communism? That's Feria, Nick.
Little Red Riding Hood?
That's exactly right, and that wraps up our quick start for today.
Masterminds is supported in part by Navy Army Community Credit Union.
So after our quick start, we are all tied up 40 points to 40 points. That means we got 8 out of 10 well-job students. Let's take a moment to meet our judge who's here from the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. Please join me in welcoming Tim Sears, Assistant Professor in Practice, the U Teach program in the Department of Biology. Tim Sears, our judge today. Thank you, Professor. All right, before we get to hot topics, let's meet the team. We'll start with IB. Introduce yourselves, please.
My name is Elizabeth Garza. I'm a senior at IB. I'm team captain of Masterminds and founder of our art club, and I'm also a student ambassador.
Welcome. Glad you're here.
Hello, my name is Ricardo Zamora. I'm a senior at IB, and I'll be attending St. Mary's University.
Congratulations. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Lauren Pearson. I'm a junior at Lamar Academy, and I am an active member of my school's robotics club and art club.
We're glad to have you here, the team from International Baccalaureate today. All right, students, time for your hot topics now. We're going to ask you 3 questions about current events. IB, you're playing by yourselves, okay? No buzzers required. We'll take the first answer we hear. Here we go. Name the actor who escaped injury when the car he was riding in was hit by another vehicle, then flipped over in L.A. He's perhaps best known for his role as Ron Burgundy in Anchorman.
Will Ferrell.
Correct. With 22 restaurants, 24 pools, and room for nearly 9,000 people, it's brand new and the biggest cruise ship in the world. Name this ship, which also has the tallest water slide at sea, the ocean's fastest internet, and more works of art than the Louvre has paintings. That time is up. Symphony of the Seas. Apple sent out a memo to employees recently warning them to not leak company information. What happened to the memo?
It was leaked.
It was leaked indeed. That's right. Puts you up to 60 points. Well done. All right, let's meet the team from Feria. We'll start right here.
Hello, my name is Diego Ochoa. I am currently the Vice President of our school's Business Professionals of America. I am in UIL, and I am also in NHS.
Fantastic. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Nick Porter. I'm a junior at Feria High School. I'm the UIL Chemistry State Champion, a proud member of NHS, and I'm sporting my mother's Daisy pin, which she received for outstanding work in pediatric healthcare.
Should bring you good luck. Welcome.
Howdy guys, I'm Sabir Rothschild. Current student at Georgetown University, go Hoyas. National Hispanic Scholar, and fun fact, I weigh 452 potatoes.
I never measured that. Well, welcome. Glad you're here. The team from La Feria. Give them a round of applause. Glad to have you all here. All right, it's time for your hot topic. Same rules, 3 questions. Don't use your buzzers. Take the first answer we hear. What auto manufacturer announced it's cutting as many as 1,500 jobs at its assembly plant in Lordstown, Ohio?
Ford.
That was General Motors. The CEO behind Bratz Dolls and Little Tikes Toys recently put in a bid to buy what store, which filed for bankruptcy last fall?
Toys R Us.
That's correct. What bank may have to pay a $1 billion penalty for forcing customers into car insurance?
Wells Fargo.
That's exactly right. Well done, and that puts the score at 60 points to 60 points. Exactly the kind of game we hope for in the quarterfinals. At least we hope for that. We're going to take a break and come back. It'll be time to meet the teacher coordinators, do quick picks, the grab bag, that and more. Masterminds continues right after the break. Welcome back to Masterminds quarterfinal competition today. International Baccalaureate and La Feria. Let's meet the teacher coordinators from the 2 schools. We'll start with IB. Ricky, you're up.
This is Mr. Ojeda. He's a sophomore chemistry teacher at the IB Lamar Academy. This is his 8th year coaching our Masterminds team, and he is also a Marine Corps veteran.
Terrific. Welcome and thank you for your service. Glad to have you here. And La Feria. Nick, your turn.
This is Mrs. Phipps. She's our AP Physics 1 and 2 teachers at La Feria High School. She's doing a great job as our Masterminds coordinator, and she loves turtles.
We're glad to have you here. Welcome. We appreciate our teacher coordinators who help the students prepare for the games, especially this late in the season. All right, students, time now for quick picks. We're going to show you pictures on the TV screen. I'll ask you questions about each one of them. Everybody is playing. You do need your buzzers. Here we go. This is Australia's 3rd most populous city and the capital of Queensland. What city is it? IB, Ricky.
Melbourne.
No. La Feria, anyone? Zab.
Sydney.
No, this is Brisbane. Brisbane. This is an example of Germany's currency. What do we call German currency? IB, Ricky.
Mark.
Yes, that's correct. In basketball, how far from the basket is the free throw line? IB, Ricky.
15 feet.
That's correct. The phonograph, the fluoroscope, the kinetoscope, the electric light bulb. How many? IB, Ricky.
Thomas
No.
Edison.
No. How many of these 4 did Thomas Edison invent? The phonograph, the fluoroscope, the kinetoscope, the electric light bulb. How many of these 4 did Edison? Okay, Zab.
2.
No, all 4 of them. All 4 were his. In what northern state was President William McKinley assassinated? All right, IB, Lauren.
Massachusetts.
No? La Feria, Diego.
New York.
It was New York, that's correct. Pensacola, Florida is on the Pensacola Bay, which connects to what body of water? That's IB, Ricky.
Gulf of Mexico.
Correct. This scene is from near Del Rio, Texas. Del Rio is the seat of what county that shares its name with one of the main thoroughfares in Donna? Not anymore. IB, Ricky?
Salinas.
No. Yes. The scene is from near Del Rio, Texas. Del Rio is the seat of what county that shares its name with one of the main thoroughfares in Donna? All right, Zeb.
Willoughby.
No, it's Valverde County. On November 18th, 1872, Susan B. Anthony was arrested in New York. What was the charge against her? And time is up. She was illegally voting. Women did not yet have the right to vote. This is the flag of what European country? IB, Elizabeth.
France.
That's right. This is both a city and a country in Southeast Asia. Name it. IB, Ricky.
Singapore.
That's exactly right. And that wraps up our quick picks for today.
Masterminds is supported in part by Navy Army Community Credit Union.
All right, so after quick picks, IB is in the lead 110 to 70 over La Feria. That means La Feria, you get to go first in the grab bag round. Professor Sears has 3 envelopes, which to choose 1, 2, and 3. Choose any one you'd like.
We want 3.
They want 3. Well, let's do number 3 then. You got 60 seconds to answer the 10 questions in here. If you don't know one, pass. Okay, we'll come back. You know how that works. Your category is reading. Reading, only just reading. Okay, that's what we got to go by. No buzzers, okay? Here we go. According to the title of Eric Maria Remarque's 1929 bestseller, where was All Quiet?
In front.
Yes. In 1962, Tennessee Williams wrote The Night of...
Pass.
In 1939, George S. Kaufman and Moss Hart wrote a play called The Man Who...
Pass.
The Pulitzer Prize-winning musical by Frank Lesnar and Abe Burrows is entitled How to Succeed in Business.
Pass.
Ole E. Rolvag wrote a saga of it, and Laura Ingalls Wilder set a little house on it?
The Prairie.
Yes. How much time elapses over the course of Alexander Solzhenitsyn's 1962 novel about the travails of Ivan Denisovich in a Soviet labor camp?
20 years.
No. Complete the title of the revived 1962 film classic, The Candidate, based on a Richard Condren novel.
The Manchurian Candidate.
Yes. In the title of a play by Robert Anderson, what is paired with sympathy?
Apathy.
No. In the title of plays, what word follows into the, never mind, that's the end of that. All right, how many do we get? 3 correct. Okay, let's go over the ones we didn't get. Tennessee Williams wrote The Night of the Iguana. George Kaufman and Moss Hart wrote the play called The Man Who Came to Dinner. The Pulitzer Prize-winning musical, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. Let's see, how much time elapses over the course of Solzhenitsyn's book about Desinovich was a day. And in the title of the play, Robert Anderson is paired with tea. What was paired with sympathy? It was tea. Okay, sympathy. All right, up to 85 points. Now, IB, it's your turn. 2 envelopes remain, 1 and 2. You can choose whichever one you'd like.
2.
Number 2 it is. All right, same rule, 60 seconds, 10 questions. Pass or you don't know one. Your category is Mozart's. Mozart. All right, that's all we have to go by. 60 seconds, here we go. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was a musical genius from what city?
Salzburg. Salzburg.
Salzburg, that's correct. Mozart settled in what large city where he composed most of his music?
Vienna.
Yes. Name any one year in the life of Mozart.
1576.
No. Name Wolfgang's father.
Theophilus.
Yes. What composer told Mozart's father, I must tell you before God that your son is the greatest composer I have ever heard?
Handel.
No. On what instrument did Mozart give concerts as a child?
Piano.
No. Translate the title of this serenade, Eine kleine Nachtmusik.
A little night music.
Yes. Mozart's sonatas for violin and what relatively new keyboard instrument helped make the instrument popular?
Harpsichord.
No. In 1769, like his father before him, Mozart began working for the ruler of Salzburg, who held what ecclesiastical title?
Duke.
No. All right, time is up. How did we do on that one? 4 correct, up to 130 points. Let's go over the ones he didn't get. The 1 year in the life of Mozart, he was alive from 1756 to 1791. The composer that told his father that I must tell you before God that your son's the greatest composer was Haydn. He did his concerts as a child on a harpsichord. His sonatas for violin and what relatively new keyboard instrument, that was the piano. And like his father before him, he began working for the ruler of Salzburg, who was the archbishop. All right, puts you up to 130 points. Now there's 1 envelope remaining, which nobody chose. Envelope numero uno, number 1. So we all play on this one. You need your buzzers. No one chose the category Drake. Drake. All right. I like the smiles that brings. Let's see how it does. All right, 60 seconds. Here we go. Name any year in the life of Sir Francis Drake.
1850.
Ring in, Nick.
1850.
No. IB, Ricky.
1820.
No, it's 1540 to 1596. On Drake's first voyage to Africa and the West Indies, what was the cargo of the ship? That's IB, Ricky.
T.
No. The Feria, who rang in? Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
Coffee.
That was slaves. Who knighted Drake? IB, Lauren.
Queen Elizabeth.
More specific?
The first.
Yes. Drake was the first Englishman to do what? That's LaFerry Diego.
Sail around South America.
No. IB, Ricky.
Sail around Africa.
No, he sailed around the world. Name any of the ships on his most famous voyage, which lasted nearly 3 years. Time is up. The Pelican, Elizabeth, and Marigold, and Swan. He is said to have finished playing what kind of game before sailing to defeat the Spanish Armada? Time is up. That was going to be bowls, or 9-pin, or 10-pin. All right, glad you didn't get that category? Yeah, me too. So our score is 135 for IB, 85 for LaFerrier. We're going to take a break. We come back. It'll be time for arts and music. Each question will be worth 20 points. Don't go away. Welcome back to Masterminds quarterfinals. LaFeria and IB. Right now, IB's in the lead, 135 to 85. It is time for art and music. We'll start with top art. Head to the art museum. Take a look at a piece of artwork and ask you to tell us the name of the artist or the work. This is for 20 points. The artist or the work. All right, La Feria, Zeb.
A Day on the Farm.
A Day on the Farm. No, that's not it. IB, Elizabeth.
Rivera?
I'm sorry?
Rivera?
Nope, this is Grant Wood. It's called Fall Plowing. Oh, we have another. Try this one. That was quick. La Feria, Nick.
Dali.
That is Salvador Dali, The Persistence of Memory, one of the classics. All right, 1 out of 2. Good job, up to 105 points. Now let's try music. For this, listen carefully. Identify the composer or the work. All right, I was about to call it. La Feria, Zeb?
Moonlight Dance.
No? IB, Ricky?
Tchaikovsky.
No, this is George Gershwin. This is Rhapsody in Blue. Let's try another for 20 points. La Feria, Nick?
Strauss.
No. IB? Okay, Elizabeth?
Handel?
That is Handel from The Messiah. That's For Unto Us a Child is Born. So the score after art and music is IB 155, La Feria 105. Each team picking up 20 points on that. We take a break. We come back. It'll be time for the final stretch. We'll see which team is moving on from the quarterfinals. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Masterminds quarterfinals. It is La Feria and International Baccalaureate. IB in the lead, 155 to 105 as we head to the final stretch. We will ask questions until that bell rings. Whenever that happens, the team is leading moves on to the next round. So hands on your buzzer. Here we go. What is the antonym of synthesis? That's IB, Elizabeth.
Antithesis?
No? La Feria, anybody? Nick?
Deconstruction.
No, analysis. Who prepared the Cosmographia, the standard geography of the ancient world, about AD 150? It was still authoritative at the time of Columbus. Okay, go ahead. IB.
Aristotle?
Sorry, no, that's not correct. La Feria, anybody? And time's up. Ptolemy is who did that. Brothers and sisters, I have none, but that man's father is my father's son. How is the person related to me? La Feria, Nick.
He is you.
No.
Beat the clock.
IB, Elizabeth.
He's a step sibling?
I'm sorry?
Stepbrother?
No, it's my son. My son. The ancient Chaldeans calculated a period they called a Saros. It was equivalent to 18 years, 11 1/3 days. What astronomical alignment were they trying to predict with this time period? And time, oh, all right, I'll let you in. La Feria, is that?
The planets align.
No. IB, Lauren.
Solar eclipse.
Will we accept that? We'll accept eclipses in general. We'll accept solar eclipse. That is one of the eclipses. What layer of Earth's soil generally contains the most decomposing organic matter? That's La Feria, Nick.
Topsoil.
Yes. Thoreau called Walt Whitman's first volume a trumpet note ringing through the American camp. Emerson considered it the most extraordinary piece of wit and wisdom that America has yet contributed. Name the volume. Thoreau called Walt Whitman's first volume a trumpet note ringing through the American camp. Emerson considered it the most extraordinary piece of wit and wisdom that America has yet contributed. Name the volume. That's La Feria, Diego.
Encyclopedia Britannica.
No? IB, Elizabeth.
Leaves of grass?
Yes, that's correct. In 1818, which parallel did Great Britain agree to as the boundary between the United States and Canada from the Minnesota-Ontario border to the Rocky Mountains? That's La Feria, Zeb.
46.
No. IB, Ricky.
25th.
That was the 49th. What is the chemical formula for sodium oxide? IB, Lauren.
NaO.
No. La Feria, Nick.
Na2O.
That's correct. An iris is a flower. What is an ibis? That's IB, Elizabeth.
A bird?
Yes, that's right. One of the best known of all American patriots in colonial times had a son, William, who was leader of the Tories, those on the side of the British crown. Name this founding father. One of the best known of all American patriots in colonial times had a son, William, who was a leader of the Tories, that is, those on the side of the British crown. Name this founding father. Okay, LaFerrier, Diego.
Paul Revere.
No? IB, anyone? All right, Ricky.
John Hancock.
That was Benjamin Franklin. What unit fraction is roughly equivalent to 0.1429? IB, Lauren.
1/7.
That's correct. What term in the field of diplomacy refers to a formal demand made by one nation upon another, requiring the receiving government to comply with the demand of the sender, or suffer, IB, Elizabeth?
A mandate?
No. Or suffer the consequences, LaFerrier? All right, Zeb?
Ultimatum.
Yes. The only poisonous lizards in the world are native to which continent? The only poisonous lizards in the world, LaFerrier, Nick?
Australia.
No. IB, Ricky?
South America.
No, North America. Ancient physicians believed that the arteries carried air until the 2nd century, when this Greek anatomist demonstrated that they carry blood. Who was he? Time's up. That was Galen. What did the singer of On Top of Old Smoky lose his... Why did the singer of On Top of Old Smoky lose his true lover? Why? LaFerrier, Zeb?
She had lung cancer.
No? IB, Elizabeth?
She found another man?
No, for courting too slow, says the song. What point is the vertex of the parabola y equal x squared minus 4x plus 7?
Can you repeat the question?
What is the vertex of the parabola y equal x squared minus 4x plus 7? All right, IB, Elizabeth?
2? Y equals 2?
No. Fair, anybody? And time is up. 2, 3. 2, 3. Balance the following equation. Carbon plus molecular oxygen yields carbon monoxide. LaFerrier, Nick?
2, 1, 2.
Yes, that's correct, yes. In the Arabian Nights, Sinbad was a sailor. Who was a poor woodcutter? And time is up. That's Ali Baba. What 3 nations claimed the first 4 Rugby Union World Cup championships? Hint, they are all south of the equator. That's IB, Ricky.
New Zealand.
And?
Australia.
And?
South Africa.
Yes, well done. Express 1 plus the tangent squared of 2x in terms of the secant function. LaFerrier, Nick?
Negative secant squared of 2x.
No. Correct, Judge? You're thinking about more to make sure. Okay, IB, anybody? And time's up. Secant squared of 2x, but not negative. In what year was the Paris Peace Conference which the Big Four attended? That's LaFerrier, Zam.
1832.
No. IB, Elizabeth?
2003?
That was 1919. What are the 2 main types of ice found at sea? Time is up. Pack ice and icebergs. The Coven is the first chapter of what novel by John Updike?
Repeat.
The Coven is the first chapter of what novel by John Updike? And time is up. That's The Witches of Eastwick. The Chinese invented it. England's Roger Bacon perfected it. Its formula? 41.2% saltpeter. 29 IB, Ricky. That's right. Abraham Lincoln was elected president as the 1860 Republican Party candidate, but when Honest Abe served his lone term, 1847 to 49, in the U.S. House of Representatives, he was not a Republican. Under what party's banner was Lincoln? That's IB, Ricky.
Whig.
That's correct. Pythagoreans believe the number 4 stood for justice. Hotels never have a 13th floor. Explaining elements in terms of magical powers attributed to certain numbers is called what? That's IB, Ricky.
Nomen.
No? LaFerrier, Zab.
Number dysphoria.
No, numerology. What type of ecosystem has the greatest diversity of both plant and animal life? That's IB, Ricky. Yes. If a discount of 20% off the marked price of a shirt saves a man $15, how much did he pay for the shirt? That's LaFeria, Nick. It doesn't matter what we're going to
$60.
say. That would have been correct. Is correct, but it doesn't count. It was too late. Our final score, IB 235, LaFeria 145. That means IB, you're moving on to the next round. I want to congratulate all the students. A great job today. It was a fun game. Well done, everybody. I want to thank our judge here once again from UTRGV, Professor Tim Sears. Thank you for your work. IB, we'll see you in the next round, and we'll see you at home next time for an exciting competition of Masterminds.